Hello and welcome back to the Starting Solids show, and as you already know, I'm Rachel. In my two previous videos I've covered when to start solids, signs of readiness, some practical tips on how to start solids, vitamin D and follow-on milks. And in this video I'll be talking about drinks, more textures, milks including follow-on milks, and of course vitamin D. So let's start with drinks. Parents often ask us about drinks for babies. So from around 6 months, your baby can be offered tap water to drink. There's no need to boil it, and it can be given straight from a free flow cup, which is similar to this type of cup here, where you turn it upside down, the water will flow out. In addition, we don't recommend that you use bottled water due to the high mineral content. It's important to remember that water and breast or formula milk are the only drinks your baby should have. Babies should not be offered any other drinks, including fizzy drinks, tea, coffee, and that includes baby tea or any other special baby drinks. As Fiona mentioned in her oral health video, if you're given fruit juices, there are 4 points to remember. So fruit juices should be diluted half and half with water, given only at meal times, using a non-spill cup, which should be filled no more than halfway, so no more than here. In our experience, we've found that by around 7 months, babies are usually fairly well established in at least one meal a day. And this should include some finger foods, and the variety of foods that you're offering should be increasing. With regards to the texture of foods, you want to make sure that your baby continues to be offered more and more lumps in the food, meaning that you mash foods less and make things a bit more coarse. Or if, for example, you've made something like a smooth soup, you can just add the lumps in by, say, mashing some peas, and I'll just demonstrate that. So again, these are just frozen peas that I've cooked, and they're nice and soft, and I'm just going to mash them down with a fork, and then I would just add them into the soup, just to give them some lumps, to give the soup some lumps. Okay. It's really important that by around 9 months, your baby is used to taking lots of lumps, as actually delaying the introduction of lumps can affect your baby's speech development. And getting your baby used to taking lumps can sometimes take a wee while, so it's important to start introducing them from around 7 months. And by 9 or 10 months, you would hope that your baby would cope with a dish similar to the corn and vegetable dish that Sandra demonstrated in one of her cooking videos. And as you can see, there's lots of lumps and bumps in this. You could choose to serve this with something like boiled rice, pasta, a side dish of vegetables, some bread, something like that, just to make it a complete meal. The other texture I wanted to mention was showing the difference between the carrots. So we've got some carrots that were really well mashed in our first video, versus some carrots here that I've just mashed much less. So they're still really soft and able to be chewed by your baby, but they've just got much more texture in them. And this is the type of texture that we're looking for from 8, 9 and 10 months. You're also looking to slowly increase the amount of food that your baby's given at each meal, as well as the number of meals per day from 1 to 2 and then 3 meals a day. From around 9 months of age, as the volume of the food your baby takes increases, you'll notice that they will take less breast or formula milk, and more of their nutritional needs will be coming from the food rather than the milk. And this will just continue as your baby gets towards 1 year and beyond. If your baby is required to have non-dairy alternatives like oat milk, soya milk or any nut milk, choose those which are fortified with calcium, as some are not, especially some of the organic varieties. And you may already know that calcium, along with vitamin D, are both crucial for healthy bone and tooth development in babies and actually in adults too. Also, the non-dairy drinks are usually much lower in fat than full-fat cow's milk, and as fat is so important for your baby's growth and development, we want to make sure that you make up the fat from other sources. So you could use things like oils, nut butters, etc. This brings me nicely on to the fat content of cow's milk. So as Sandra demonstrated, full-fat cow's milk products can be used in cooking from 6 months and as a drink from aged 1. Due to the rapid growth of your baby at this stage, we recommend that you continue with the full-fat dairy products until your child is aged 2. So again, this is the blue top one. Thereafter, if your child is growing well, you can choose the semi-skimmed milk, which is a green top, but the fully skimmed milk, which is a red top, should be avoided until your wee one is age 5, again just due to the very low fat content. With regard to follow-on milks, which include hungry baby milks, comfort or toddler milks, these are not needed and in fact they should be avoided. And this is because they're difficult for your baby to digest and some are more expensive than your first stage formula milk. So if you're formula feeding, the first stage milk, which is the one recommended from birth, is the only milk your baby needs until they're age 1. Thereafter, you can switch to full-fat cow's milk, given from your free-flowing cup. My final point is on vitamin D. So as we know, vitamin D is the only vitamin supplement needed for healthy term babies and children if they're getting a balanced diet. The Scottish Government recommend that babies are given up to 10 micrograms of vitamin D per day. And within NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde, we've got a new free vitamin D product, which means that all children aged 3 and under are entitled to free vitamin D drops, as well as all breastfed and mixed-fed babies who are having less than 500 ml of formula milk a day. Also, all breastfeeding mums are entitled to free vitamin D tablets, so if you're breastfeeding, you will receive the first bottle of the vitamins on the maternity ward, which contains a 4-month supply. Thereafter, they need to be collected from the pharmacy and you just need to ask at the counter. And just to summarise, the main points we've spoken about are suitable drinks for babies, the importance of adding in lumps and more lumps from the age of 7 months, increasing the number of meals per day that your baby's having, and finally, vitamin D.